All right, Dom Miller here. January 28th. Um, this is a requested tip of the day. So I was requested to talk about pacing yourself. Um, and let's, so entry level, we'll start at the very entry level. So if you're just getting on the job or you're coming out of high school and you're going into the trade, in the beginning, your body's going to be sore. And the best recommendation I can give you is one, hang in there. It takes about 2 weeks for your body to harden up to manual labor. After that period, try not to skip too many days. Like on a Saturday, try to do something physical. Try to keep your body moving. It'll harden your body, and sooner, like, you'll realize it. Your whole body's gonna stiffen up, and you're gonna you're gonna get muscle tone throughout your body. So hang in there. Drink water. Um, Ibuprofen helps, and after a couple weeks, um, that soreness will go away. And then you're going to get into burning out towards the end of the week, and often that happens from lack of sleep. You're not resting after you work. You're not eating correctly, and a lot of this comes to self-awareness. You really need to take care of yourself and realize what's going on. And then as you start adapting, you're going to realize you'll be able to make it to an 8-hour day. If you're just getting out of high school, you're just getting into this trade, an 8-hour day is going to be, it's going to be strenuous on you. And you're going to have to realize you need to make changes to counteract that so your body can get used to it. And you need to know what your sleep habits are. And your goal is going to be to get enough sleep and know when you can do what. Like if your friends are going out, if you're entering this trade, a lot of your friends probably aren't entering the trade and they're going out and they're having a ball. And if you just stick with them, that might not benefit you. If you wanna excel in this trade, you might have to say goodbye to your friends during the weekdays or limit your exposure. I remember my friends going late night out, and I wouldn't be able to do that. I would be able to stay out till like 10:30, 11, and then cut my night short. Um, and when you're in your 20s, it's a big difference than when you get into your 30s as far as pacing yourself. So when you first enter the trade, you have to get used to the muscle fatigue. You have to learn what to eat. Never eat a large lunch; it'll weigh you down. Try to eat something that can keep you moving, and realize a good breakfast, even if it's like a banana and coffee. Some people love a big breakfast, some people don't. And again, this comes to knowing yourself and entering this trade. You need to be aware of that. Don't just kind of go through the motions. Like you want to be in tune, especially if when you're in your early 20s. Sleep is more for your cognitive ability, being able to learn, being able to memorize things, being able to remember what you're told. Again, it goes back to this. This can really, like little notebooks can really help. Writing, if you're getting yelled at for the same thing, write it down. And at the end of the day, when a mechanic is not yelling at you and he's done cleaning up and you see that he's relaxed, go up to him and ask what you're doing wrong. And if he says you're not paying attention, write that down and figure, are you daydreaming? Are you not understanding so you're avoiding it? Or you have to figure out what's going on with you in order to become better. So pacing yourself when you're entering the trade is different than pacing yourself 4 years in. Pacing yourself 4 years in, you can kind of see what's in front of you. So if you go onto a job and you already know that there's going to be hard days on the job and there's going to be easy days on the job, you can kind of know where you're going to need to push and where you're going to be able to recover. So if you have a job and let's say new construction, first 2 days, so you're drilling and you are running wires. Well, first thing what I would realize is that's a high-paced time period. One, you're going to be using, auger bits to drill through wood, um, or unibits to drill through metal, the various different things. All right, realize that, and realize it's a labor-intensive process here. So you want to make sure, one, that you're rested, that you have a good amount of rest, and don't push yourself on the first day, because the second day or the third day you might start burning out. So you want to make sure that you get into a rhythm that is slow and steady, not slow, but steady. And that way, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're still maintaining a good workflow. I know personally, if I do like 2 or 3 12-hour days in a row, towards the end of the week, I'm going to be lagging. So I need to make sure that end of the week, there isn't anything, like don't do like a service at the end of the week if you're doing 12 all week. It's just you're just glutton for punishment there. So you wanna make sure you pace your work environment out. And I remember after about 5 or 6 years in this trade, you get to this point where if you're in your 20s, you have all this energy still, and you're knowledgeable enough that you can be let go on your own. I started working 12, 13, 14-hour days, and when you get into working above 8 hours, when you get into those 10-hour days, 12-hour days, and you want to do it, you're not being forced to do it. This is all motivation. It really comes down to your food intake, what type of shoes you have, and what type of bedding you have. And bedding is important here. When you start really pushing hours on jobs, and you get into that motivation when you're 25, 26, you can really get some work done. So let's go through the 3 items here, okay? Food. All right, I personally like coffee with cream and sugar in the morning, and then around 10 o'clock, I'll start biting on something just to give me carbohydrates, give me energy. At lunchtime, I do not eat a big lunch. Don't think you can do 12 and 14-hour days and suck down cheesesteaks. It's just, cheesesteaks are great for an 8-hour day, but when you start putting in these longer hours, day after day after day, your diet becomes a major factor. So you have to watch what you eat, and you have to watch how it reacts to your body. Water at all times. Always be drinking water when you're doing these long stints, all right? So smaller meals, take a break every 2 hours, a 5-10 minute break, go eat something, even if it's a Pop-Tart. Have something like peanuts, like a payday. Have things that will keep you moving, but don't eat a big meal. It's gonna bog you down. It's hard to get over that. All right, so that's pacing yourself as far as food is concerned. Now boots. There's boots that I can't work. If I put a certain boot on, I can't work more than 8 hours. Okay, I'll get foot fatigue, which gets into my knees, it gets into my legs, and I'm down for the count at that point. The moment you get some fatigue in your legs, man, it ruins your day. You're not wanting to do 12-hour days; they become nightmares. So a couple other videos I talked about buy expensive boots, and just because the boot's expensive, that's not why I'm telling you to buy it. You want to buy a boot where you can work longer hours in without foot fatigue, okay? And my feet haven't hurt in years because I wear Red Wings. And Red Wings are a very good boot for the working person. All right, you go to a Red Wing store, you can get fitted for your foot. And if you're working on concrete, Get fitted for concrete work. If you're working on wood surfaces, get fitted for wood surfaces. They will customize the boot for your foot, and if you're going to go for longevity of the day, and you're really putting hours in, your boot is important. It Again, you're feeding yourself correctly. You get the correct boot, and you don't get foot fatigue. I can work 16 hours on the boots I have, and when I take them off, my feet feel better. Don't get me wrong, but my feet aren't in pain. They're not sore. Okay, and that's important. The third one is sleep. All right, and if you're putting in longer hours, and you start getting into the older ages, like 30, and I'm not saying 30 is old. I'm just saying by 30, I had 10 years of labor behind me, and I mean long hour labor. So my body started taking a toll. Okay, and I realized my hip, my back, my shoulders, they would all be sore, and I had a mattress that just wasn't cutting it for me. And so I went and invested. And when I say invested, I spent well over $4,000 on a sleep number bed. And for me, and being in labor, I put that bed up to 100. I do not like, there's a pillow top on it, so it's comfortable. But I need my mattress as stiff as possible so I can lay there and my body can relax. And the difference in my work productivity with the correct mattress was night and day. All right, it allowed my body to rest to the point where when I woke up, I was right back at it. I was ready to go. So when you get into pacing yourself, you have to, just going out there and working hard, that's only half the battle. You really need to stack the odds on your favor, on your side. And your boots, like even your tools. Like if you have tools that are causing your hands to cramp up, and some of these cheap screwdrivers, these cheap dikes, your hands, they'll cramp up and they'll be in pain. So all these things, when you start getting into productivity, these things matter. And it matters in the end result, which is a profit margin for you. So yes, these things do cost money, but they're an investment in yourself. Okay, if they're going to make you a better person, that allows you to go out and work more hours, that means more income for you. All right, so pacing yourself isn't just a matter of getting on the job and starting to work. It factors into what you eat, the shoes you wear, and how much rest you're getting. So when we do, like there's certain rewires we do that require us to be on the job 14 hours a day. All right, I know what days are going to be long and what days aren't going to be. So I base everything around that job cycle, from even going out to eat, days off. Everything is based around the job. All right, and then when the job's done, you can go back to like a normal schedule. But if you have a job that's going to require hours, you really want to pace everything from your food to your breaks, everything. Base it on the job. Attack that job, not just by going to work at it, but attack it with every weapon you have, from your sleep to the boots to eating. Okay, and get to know yourself. Don't just try to bulldog through. You know, when there's important jobs going on, I'm not leaving the house. I go to work, I get my work done, I go home, and I relax. And I try to relax the best way possible. I try to eat right even at home. Because if I'm running at full tilt, I know what I can eat, I know what I can't eat, I know I can't drink during certain, like drinking beer. If you're, like, this is a big one. If you're working 12-hour days, okay, and you know you have 10 of them, all right, and you're 4 or 5 days in, and you go home and you suck down like 3 or 4 beers, it's tough putting in those 12-hour days afterwards. So I try to not drink in the beginning, and if I do, like just one. And then at the end of the job, I'll relax. I'll have a six pack, whatever. I don't even think I can take a six pack anymore. But you pace yourself. You pace. Don't go out in the beginning of a job, okay? And when the job's getting close to the end, and you're like in the last, like you're in the finish is in front of you. Stay focused on your finish, okay? Stay focused on the quality, and you'll see when you start getting sloppy, and you know when you're getting sloppy. If you notice that you're not caring as much, okay, get a couple extra hours of sleep. All right, and try to just get some downtime to yourself. Just if you have to go home and go to bed right away, go home, go to bed right away. But pacing yourself in your 20s is going to be different than your 30s, and it's definitely going to be different in your 40s. All right. So it's a topic that a tip for the day. It gets a little bit more detailed than a tip for the day. All right, but realize that is a key factor in this trade is how you pace your week out, your month, your year out. And real quick for like a yearly pace. If you're working 12s and it's May, June, July, or August, put that money away. Do not spend that money. You have to realize in construction there's downtime. Okay, and we haven't had them a lot really recently, but I remember during the Obama administration, our winters were 3-day work weeks. There were some winters where we were slow, and you don't want to work for peanuts. Okay, guys that were working like 40-hour weeks under the Obama administration, I watched a lot of guys cut their numbers and burn themselves out to try to keep moving, and it's a dangerous. There's always a balance in the market. There's always going to be a balance in your bidding. All right, but you don't want to burn yourself out for peanuts, because when the work does come back, you're not ready. So I tell my guys, okay, put that money aside. Make a nest egg for yourself. So when the winter comes, we can enjoy sitting at home. If there is a downtime, if you're only working 3 days a week, you can enjoy those other 2. You can relax, read a book, get a hobby going. You're going to have that downtime, and if you put money aside from it when it was busy in the summer, you're going to be able to enjoy your downtime. You're not going to be stressing about not having one. It's just, like, I see guys do it all the time when, the winter slows down, and all of a sudden they're stressed out, and they're scared, and they don't know what they're going to do. But then I ask them, well, what happened to all that money in July and August we were putting in all these hours? They went and bought things. They went out for weekends down in AC, but if they were paying attention to me, I was steady. I didn't go out and spend that money. Okay, they were all telling me stories on Monday and Tuesday about how they had a great time and this and that. But I'm there just like a marathon, just a long distance marathon. I'm just week after week putting the hours in, socking it away, socking it away, socking it away. And when the winter time comes around, I'm smiling. Like I'm prepared for the slow time. I'm thinking about what books I'm going to read, how I'm going to relax, take my kids out, because of that, like during the summertime, I might not see my kids a lot during those long hours, but in the wintertime, when it's slower, I can make them dinner, and I can make a good dinner when I have time. That's the best part of this trade, is pacing yourself so this trade benefits you. It benefits your lifestyle. Okay? Living to the tilt is not a good idea. Not in this trade. So, I'll talk more about this, but God bless. This is a 20-minute tip for the day. All right, so take care. Enjoy yourselves out there.